Sorry, I'm digesting chicken at the same time.
So let's actually do a story here. So I'm doing this podcast with these guys, wonderful guys from PlayStation Trophy Room, and I get text from Charnel that is just this picture she sends me of just these wonderful brioche buns. If you go to twitter.com/bearpunch, you'll actually see it. And I think I just responded back with, "Don't send me porn while I'm podcasting." And then all of a sudden, my wall starts shaking because the way my office set up is I have a curtain over the door. So the curtain starts shaking. Everything's like shaking because she can't get the door open. My wife just slides in, and just through my desk just drops this roll, half a roll on the napkin, gives me 2 thumbs up and walks out. I'm in the middle of the fucking podcast at this point. To be clear, it's not a constant calibrating podcast. This is someone I'm guesting on. So I'm at 20% more professional, at least. Because and then this like brioche bun with like turmeric and all this stuff is like effervescing sitting here, and I'm just sitting here like staring at it like I want to put this inside me, but I can't. So like while I'm sad that there was a technical issue with this show, it gave me the time to wolf that fucker down, and it was good.
That's good, dude. That's good. I had some wings, and you know what? I got both boneless and bone to settle something. I still agree. Bone is better.
I cannot agree with this, but I also get this. I understand the semantics of it.
I'll give it to you. Boneless, more convenient.
Sure.
Less messy.
Sure.
Which is why it's more convenient. Adult chicken nuggets they are.
Oh, absolutely.
But man, if you get a good smoked bone wing, it tastes so much better.
I mean, I get, it's literally you're cooking on the bone, stuff like that. I get that. It's just, I didn't like bone. My mom loved wings when I was a kid. Well, she always loved wings, but she loved getting wings when I was a kid. And I was that kid. I wasn't starting like 2 years old. I didn't like being a messy eater. I didn't like food even touching slightly on my face. I didn't like my hands even I was so picky about things. And while I'm not that way really anymore, it's like just still those tendencies are there. So I still don't like wings for that regard. And then on top of it, I don't think I've ever actually had a good wing that was bone in.
I will also say this. You have options with boneless. Bone. With boneless, it's always heavily breaded.
The place we get over here is SD Zeke's is not. It is entirely just lumps of questionable chicken meat.
That's what I felt like when I got I saw a Chick-fil-A grilled chicken nuggets. Let me try them. There's little slimy. Well, it wasn't pleasant.
It's Chick-fil-A. That's what their food is.
I know.
Anyways, this is a gaming podcast, right?
Fuck. Ruining everything. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Catch-All. I was going to say the new episode 2, because that's technically it. Welcome to the Catch-All podcast, where we share our experiences through the gaming sphere. I still don't know how I want to do that.
The gaming sphere. Is it like a smear? Is that like a smear of a sphere of a sphere?
Yes.
I think it's a stroke trying to say that.
Welcome to my gaming pap smear.
Jesus Christ. Oh, we're off to the races already.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, as we always start off the show, we usually get into what we're playing. God, I haven't been actually playing too much this week. A little more Mario Maker.
Sure, same.
And that's all I got to say about it. I haven't been doing much more on it. So yeah, I don't really have much more to add to that.
Yeah, if you want my Mario Maker thoughts, go listen to episode 1, because that's the extent of what I can say on it. It's a cool game. Thumbs up.
No, it's a cool game. I'm not putting it down any means, just haven't been getting that much into it.
Sure.
Plus, I'm just playing the Nintendo levels, so
Shame.
I don't really get to dive into the custom stuff. Other than that, you kind of mentioned you have another Odyssey story.
Well, I was going to say, actually, on the Super Mario Maker, I will say we've all seen on Twitter, and I think it went viral on Facebook as well, that one level where the fire sticks are just rotating constantly, which I like to think of as anxiety attack in video form, because
that's accurate.
My heart rate went through the fucking roof watching that.
That's accurate.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, no, I got another Mario Odyssey story. So I told last week, if you were here for the podcast, Charnel, my wife, got into the game. We've been hunting for the moons. Last week, I think the update was that we were narrowing down, finishing the Luncheon Kingdom, and had Bowser and the moon left, and I didn't actually know what was in the dark side, and I knew nothing whatsoever the darker side. As of right now, we literally have one moon left in the game. We cleared out the dark side of the moon, which was God, there was one of those drove me nuts. But yeah, we have the darker side of the moon, which I have now made 187 attempts. I've been keeping track because it is. So I looked up a video at one point because I'm like, this is just a long ass obstacle course, a platformer, essentially. And I'm like, okay, so let me look this up and research this and just see if I can find a video just so I know what I'm getting myself into. The video of a perfect run with no edits was 10.5 minutes. There's no checkpoints.
Holy crap.
It is a 10, and here's the thing. I have gotten to the second to last part now 4 different times. And 3 of those times I literally made a very bare bones basic mistake. Funny thing is, actually, I have most trouble with the first part of it, which is stupidly easy, but that's just where I screw up. I'm also dealing with the Nintendo Drift issue on the controllers, so it's like just for no reason, sometimes Mario will just jump left for some reason, or he'll throw his hat for absolutely no reason.
So look into that Kotaku article that just popped out about that.
That's what I'm referencing. Yeah, there's a Kotaku article on it. But yeah, so...
Question though, when's the last time you updated your Switch controllers? Like the firmware on them?
I thought it did that automatically.
Nope.
Good to know.
I only say nope because I'm like, update firmware and controllers, and then just did both of them. I'm like, oh, okay.
I didn't know that was a specific thing, so I will look into that. But what always solves the problem is for me is just putting those Joy-Con back to charge and getting new ones out. The Pro Controller, this issue happens with as well, but to a significantly lesser extent. So I just now use my Pro Controller from my Switch on her system. But the story I wanted to tell, so Roran loves watching us play Mario Odyssey. If he hears the music from Mario Odyssey and he's in the other room watching Paw Patrol, he'll actually just stand there and go like, "Are you playing Odyssey?" And like he'll stop Paw Patrol to come watch this. Like, thumbs up, right? I think that's just great. But I'm doing some challenge, I don't remember what it was, and a Goomba falls on screen, and Roran likes to provide commentary off to the side. It's usually like, you fall off the level, and he's like, "What just happened?" and stuff like that. Goomba falls onto the screen in front of me, and Roran just goes, "Get that fucking Goomba."
Ooh.
The 4-year-old just says, "Get that fucking Goomba." And I just go wide-eyed, just sitting there, and I'm just like, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. Oh my God, that was funny. Don't laugh. And I don't acknowledge it. And I wait 10, 15 seconds and I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, we got that Goomba." And he's like, "You got that fucking Goomba." And I just give him a kiss on the cheek because I can't even like nod at that point. I'm like, because here's the thing about him, but that I absolutely love with all my heart about my son, just a little like side thing, is he does not really curse. But he 100% understands the proper usage of swear words. Like, he entirely understands the proper timing. He understands how to use things, and it like, because he's not just like a little kid just yelling fuck randomly or shit randomly.
Yeah, I'll say I appreciate that quality in adults, so it's just more impressive.
Yeah, so far he seems to like actually have a really good grasp on the proper usage and timing, and I guess that's because that's how Charnel and I speak, because up until Sora was born, we really tried not to curse around Roran, but when Sora came around, I'm exhausted. I just have no control over the language that comes out of my mouth half the time. So yeah, it was a fun experience, and I thought I would share that story because this is a gaming show.
Oh yeah, that is one worth sharing.
Yeah. So Justin, from the live show, it's 2 days. From the recorded release, it'll be 1 day. Mm-hmm. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Where are you at emotionally on your feelings about this game coming out?
God,
I know we talked about it last week, but like we're now 2 days away from where we're recording.
Yeah, we're 2 days away, and I still have a problem with going back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still flip-flopping between both of them. I don't know which one I enjoy more. That's a weird part.
I mean, it's like we discussed last week. It's like they have their own components. Each game has like its own little mishigas that make them better in that regard, but not better in a different regard.
Yeah. And overall, I think the first one is better combat, or at least more options with your combat.
Yeah, there's more to do. It's not as repetitive.
Yeah, like I mean, for example, you got more powers too, more stuff to experiment with.
Mm-hmm.
They have like extra powers on the fly. Like each character has like 3 extra powers compared to the other one. Because I think 2 only has 4. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The other one has like, I mean, you can map them to the 4, but then you can actually get hot swap between like a couple others depending who you have. But okay. Yeah, I mean, that's happening. I'm super excited for it. I'm also super nervous about it. And the problem why I'm nervous about it, because I am amped for it, because every time you get excited for a game, you raise that bar of expectations.
I try to avoid getting excited about anything anymore. It really makes my life a lot more miserable, in all honesty, but it makes it a lot more manageable.
It does. But I mean, yeah, it's amazing what having such a low bar on your expectation level will do for a game. For instance, Final Fantasy XIII was fine for me.
Yep.
For the bit I played.
I mean, that's
the end of that statement.
My bar was exponentially low for Final Fantasy XV. By the time I played the game, I had enjoyed the anime, the Brotherhood anime, and I'd watched the movie. I don't remember what the name of it is.
Kingslave.
So I'd watched both those things. I was like, I actually really enjoyed these. So like, I went from like 1% interested up to like 20% interested.
Yeah.
But like, because that's still that super low bar, I say this confidently, Final Fantasy XV is my favorite Final Fantasy. Is that an accurate statement? I don't fucking know, but for me, that's where I sit, because that was what that experience was for me in that moment, because of how low that bar was, potentially.
That's fair. Also, I think John's Negative is having a fit right now. He doesn't know why. I don't know how his feelings on the Final Fantasy 15. I know.
It's his number 2. He's published. Really? Final Fantasy 6 is his favorite. 15 is his second favorite, and he's been told that those are his worst takes by people. And I'm just like, I've never played 6, so I can't weigh in on that. But I'm in for your placement. But yeah, I think 15 then 8 are my favorites, and I haven't even played 8 since I was a kid, since I was like 13, 14. So again, I don't know if this is all of my Final Fantasy stuff is weird. On that, I was going to segue onto something from you, but I'm going to segue in a different direction now.
Sure.
If that you're cool with that, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV.
Nice.
Because some who may have listened to the original incarnation of the show know, around Thanksgiving, I opted on a whim to buy the complete edition at the time and play with our friend Troy. Streamed it around Thanksgiving, and I didn't enjoy the experience all that much. I think it was a game that I didn't enjoy the experience, particularly of streaming with another person who was also new to the game. And it was a different play style. Like my MMO play styles, I like to read everything. I like to take my time. I like to do stuff. I like to interact with the audience. Troy was a very run through the content and make jokes. So it just essentially just like when you try to stream with somebody who you're not familiar with. So, and then after that, like I didn't have time to play for 2 weeks, and some of my subscription was gone. And I was like, okay, fuck this, I'm out. Kind of experience. So I came back to the game last week because I put out a poll on Twitter. 46 people voted on it. I don't think I've ever had like higher than like 30 people vote on something, and like 80-something% was Final Fantasy XIV. The other options were Elder Scrolls Online, the game I actually really wanted to play because it's no subscription. And then the second place thing, which is other, which is because our friend Nick from Dadcade kept writing Quiet Man. Which I officially this morning made an agreement with him that when I do my couch co-op show, I will play that with another human being and get drunk playing it. I will do that. So yeah, whenever that comes to be. So, anyways, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV. I played a little bit with Kyle Gatto today. I played like 6 hours so far. It's everything I love and miss about World of Warcraft, except it's really pretty.
Well, that's nice.
It's really cute stuff, and I'm actually finding myself really interested in the world. Yeah, so those, I got just to reiterate, Kyle's the one who's responsible for me officially getting into games, because I also made another post where, I made a post about the game, and then I wasn't going to pick up the Shadowbringers expansion pack because I'm not at the level yet, and he texts me, something asked me about what races I was playing. And he's he mentions them with the Hrothgar. I'm like, oh, there's races that come with the game. Let me look it up. The Hrothgar are the Ronso from Final Fantasy X, Kimhari's race.
Ooh.
So let's just imagine my branding is Bear Punch, right? So there's this. It's a gigantic cat bear. He's also really handsome and cute, you know. So I was like, okay, I got to pick up Shadowbringer. So I picked that up. And then I'm like trying to look up. I wanted to name him Whisker Taint, and then Kyle literally comes in and is like, no. You got to go with the proper nomenclature and naming. So there was this whole like Mishigas, this whole shit. So like where he literally sends me a fucking linguistics guide on naming and proper naming of my Ronso, essentially, of how the names work and stuff. I'm like, okay, so I ended up he came up with one. I normally name my characters a lot of the time Cordis Vicarian. So he came up with one, Cordis with a K because it's a stronger sound, Viking. And that's my big red lion bear boy that I'm playing as. But no, I'm like having a lot of fun with the game, exploring it, playing an archer. I played a conjurer originally. It's really cool. Like and then also it helped that I managed to get a 2-month game card for the game for $11. So that's like $4 cheaper than 1 month. And to be clear, not from some shifty site, that was from Amazon. So just some finagling on stuff and timing on things. So I felt it was worth it, and since people voted for it, and I had a good time streaming it this morning, I'm going to stream it tomorrow morning, Thursday again, and if people like it, I'm going to keep going back to it.
Yeah, like if I ever got back into MMO, which I'm just staying away from, like I totally lost my taste for them.
Same, like for a long time.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is definitely the one I am looking at. Part of it's because I just want a fat chocobo. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
I mean, it's.
But I think it's incredibly cinematic for an MMO.
Well, it is. That's the thing. Is that's people always I think of Star Wars: Old Republic as being the cinematic MMO, right? Yeah. Like that's because that's literally what it was marketed as. But a lot of the little mini cutscenes, and particularly one that I got into for one of my main quests, because the game divides things up between main story quests, side quests, class quests. Because again, you don't have to create an alt to have a new class. You can literally just at level 10 every time you get level 10 with a class, you can go pick up a different one. And some classes actually require a prerequisite of another one. Mm-hmm. So the class quests, and then there's just quests that unlock new features. But the main story quests, they very cinematic cutscenes, very beautiful. And that's just in a Realm Reborn, which Realm Reborn, and everyone says this who plays it, is pretty much super cookie cutter MMO. It's very generic. Kill 10 of these, kill 5 of that. Before that, when you get the Heaven's Ward, I've heard at the very end of a Realm Reborn, and then Heaven's Ward onward is all very cinematic. Like this is the best Final Fantasy ever. I've heard Heaven's Ward, which is the first expansion, and the most recent one that just came out, Shadowbringers, are like the best thing Final Fantasy's ever done. So as a person who loves Final Fantasy but is not obsessed with it, I'm very interested to just for story perspective, keep moving forward with it.
Oh, awesome, man. Well, I guess we're going to be hearing more about that and more Odyssey adventures, more than likely.
Hopefully I was really trying to finish off the fucking game Odyssey before this stream, before this podcast, but probably have one more Odyssey thing and then I'm going to try not to go too deep into Final Fantasy and wreck people's brains about it, but I'll bring it up here and there as I keep playing. I'm going to play it for at least 2 months. So.
Oh, yeah. So continue on with my Marvel bloaner.
Bloaner. Your Marvel bloaner. Bloaner. What would be a bloaner? A bloaner would be a bank loaned boner. What?
What's the interest on that?
Very high if you're asking me.
would say a hard interest. I haven't really seen this advertised. I remember loosely hearing about it, and I remember, they made another Spider-Man VR experience.
I totally, until I saw this in our doc, I didn't know this was a thing. I don't remember hearing about this at all.
Yeah, it wasn't advertised at all. I think I heard it loosely on a podcast. I'm like, all right, let me check this out. So, put on the VR headset again. Now, it's not the first time they've done this. They also did it for Homecoming.
Sure.
Which, the Homecoming one, I mean, it's free.
It exists.
That's the best thing I can say about it. That one was mostly just a target practice thing. You're just shooting your web shooters, but... You're
thwipping, sort of, kind of, maybe.
Yeah, that's about it. This one, it is a free experience, made for Far From Home, but you actually web sling in this. It's...
How does that feel? How does that work?
Weird. But fun.
Weird, but fun, okay.
I don't know how much of the city they modeled very low detailed New York. Lower detailed than Spider-Man 2.
Oh, no.
I don't know. That's not the point. I mean, the point is the fun of it. It starts off in the room, yada, yada, yada. You pick who you want to do. Sadly, you have to go through intro anytime for the story mode, which is just one quick thing.
Okay.
Then a door opens, a mask there. It's put it on, you're wearing a suit, and then you whip outside. It starts you off on top of a building where you actually run and jump, and then all you see is Spider-Man doing his thing. You see your legs behind you. You see just the city under you. I'm like, oh, holy crap. It's pretty damn cool. Web slinging is a mix of your webs do have attached to shit. It has to be on the building or something like that or it won't work.
Okay.
But yeah, each of your controllers is your different hands. Basically, you just have a button to whip out. You actually get to reload your webs by just aiming off screen like an old light gun game Time Crisis or something.
Okay.
And shoot then. You move by pushing the move button. I mean, that's as much you can do. And then you turn with the other buttons to turn on the controller, like the X, Y, square, whatever. It's kind of awkward to do, but once you get going, it's pretty damn fun. As far as attacks go, to set it up, the story mode is just this big, weird robot pops up. It's getting concrete put on it for armor with a bunch of little robots. And
we've all been there.
Yeah, it's all serious. It's nothing you would have seen or noticed from a, actual Spider-Man lore. Very fair. Thank you, Ryan. Sorry, just read that. But it doesn't tell you how to fight it whatsoever. It's just pull off the armor bits. I'm cool. So I'm whipping, trying to pull stuff, and it's just whipping me all around. No, you just have to keep popping the web. That's how you attack. You just shoot it kind of like a gun, whip. It gets damaged, and then you can flip and yank it. And that kind of gets me how the web slinging works. It's a little physics based, but it's also kind of a zip line at the same time.
Okay, so it's kind of like similar to the web zip feature in the Spider-Man PS4, maybe, or feeling?
Yes, but not as quick as web zip, because you're slightly moving forward as you're kind of moving down.
Gotcha.
But when I say forward, I don't mean with the swing. No, it's more you flip. Sorry, this doesn't do anything for audio listeners. And then while you're going towards it, you're just feel like you're steadily getting reeled in as you're kind of going through a swing.
Okay.
But it also does respond if you flip and then yank. You will do you will actually do it like a web zip. And they also have you can put up a web wall by if you shoot 2 webs out, which you can do both hands independently, and then you put your hands together it'll make a web wall, which is actually
cool.
Pretty fun to do. Well, I was playing not knowing what I was doing. I got a feeling of being Spider-Man because you're whipping through, and then you whip your way over the big robot, slowly walk in, and then you're just trying to shoot it, then put stuff together, flip again, shoot, put stuff together to kind of get them stuck. It is, I don't know, it's a fun experience. It's better than I thought it'd be. Way better than I thought it'd be. Again, free. And then after that, besides just the one story thing, which is just the big robot thing walking, it does have other challenges you could do. They do have time trials, which is hit and miss. I mean, that's kind of what you think you want to do. But like the Wrestling isn't that forgiving with how they had the trials set up.
Okay.
Other than that, just target practice, which is just kind of robots pop up, you just shoot it, blah, they win. You can unlock the 4 suits, actually not 4 suits, 3 suits, which is his old red and blue stealth suits that's in the new Spider-Man movie and his new suit in the Spider-Man movie. That's about it.
Okay.
Which doesn't really do much for you because it's in first person. Besides your arms, you can see your arms. So there you go. But yeah, right. That's it. That's my experience. It's great. I mean, that's my tired rambling of the Spider-Man VR experience for Homecoming.
That's way more than I was expecting information. I was expecting like a 40-second thing. So the fact that there was that much going on is actually really cool because certainly comparing it to Homecoming. So, makes me feel hopeful. I mean, I'm assuming it's a different company, but it still makes me feel hopeful of the Iron Man actual VR game coming out. I
mean, from what I hear, mostly from Greg Miller, it's good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. So
it's very intuitive too. Like you see, he keeps mentioning like every time like there was a tutorial, the guy was just like, "Oh, how would Iron Man fly?" Greg did what he thought how Iron Man flies. Oh, that's how you move. How does Iron Man shoot? So you do how you feel like Iron Man shoots. Like, oh, yeah, that's how you shoot. And from what I'm here, like it's actually like. Because everybody's afraid, like, it's just going to be a real shooter, but from my ears, like, it's free motion and everything.
That's what I keep thinking about. The fact is, like, how is free motion for flying particularly going to work? So kind of like hearing how web swing works, on a free game. It's like, okay, this gives me an idea at least of the potential of like of what something with a bigger budget potential, could have.
Yeah, I'm hoping like a gameplay trailer will drop, especially this weekend with being Comic-Con, and I know they're doing a all-age panel, except I don't think that panel is going to be streamed or recorded or anything, so
that's my understanding.
They do it there, and then eventually just release whatever they show there. But, I mean, they're bringing it there. I hope they might have it on demo there, too. That'd be exciting. I'm really hoping to see something at PAX, but no word on that. Speaking of like Marvel Hall H Comic-Con, they're also going to actually show gameplay of the Avengers, which is probably going to be what people saw behind closed doors.
Which I've not exactly heard great things about either, so...
I hear mixed things about it. Some people are like, oh, this is fine. This looks like it could be enjoyable. Some people's like, oh, it's just weird, and I don't understand what's going on. The main thing I'm hoping for the Avengers game is for us to get a clear picture of what this actually is.
I just want to know what game it is. What kind of game is it? What's the exact details of it? Because ultimately I can get over the characters look terrible thing because buy skins, whatever. You know what I mean?
Like the character design, I'm not going to harp too much on it. It's just like everybody's so used to the MCU.
That's, again, still not my issue with it.
Yeah, but no, the problem is they tout that like, oh, it's our original designs, but it looks like it's heavily inspired, and then they just make a hard turn. I'm one of the favorite jokes out there is like it looks like they're stunt doubles.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about that on.
I think we talked about it on one of the ones we recorded.
Yeah, I think it's on one of the negative episodes, one of the pre-1 episodes we talked about that. But yeah, I mean, it's essentially
Dewey Decimal episodes.
But like, no, that's what it speaks to me is just kind of that vibe to it. So yeah, I don't want to harp on it too much. I've bitched about it on Twitter and things like that, and I want like everything in life, I want it to be good.
The more Square tries to explain it, the more confused I get.
That's the thing. They keep doubling back on stuff. And again, the way I think I described it on the broken down episodes, the previous episodes, was that it really felt like the producers had one idea, the designers had one idea, the programmers had one idea of what the game was, the marketers had one idea what the game was, but nothing actually quite lined up. But they're still talking about all 4 of those different games as one entity, and it just feels like they don't know what it is.
Wrote the script for the teleprompter at E3. Because like, God, when you come out and like, we just want you to know this game has no microtransactions. I'm like,
how?
First of all, I don't know what type of fucking game this is, and that's the first thing you open up with. I mean, we all assume it's going to be their live to game as a service. It's Destiny thing with Marvel characters, which is all we hope for. I'd be more excited like if it's just Ultimate Alliance, or God, what was it? Marvel. What was the free to play? Which I wish I played more of.
I played a bunch of it, but not. But it was essentially Ultimate Alliance. Marvel free MMO. I'm looking it up because I can't remember. Marvel Heroes.
Yeah, or if it's just that, but like more of a.
Not quite Marvel Ultimate Alliance style, but actually more of like a third person over the shoulder kind of gameplay, kind of thing.
But and then like they're explaining it further, like, oh, we have this whole narrative experience. It's like it's single player all the way through, but there's multiplayer missions, and I don't like. And then they try to explain it more. It's like, wait, so is this like a games service? Do you know how Destiny? Yes, they have narrative missions. Mm-hmm. But you always can play it all multiplayer. It's like, no, there are specific story missions that are just single player. So it's a single player game. No, there's also multiplayer missions, which are just as important. I'm like,
they don't know how to describe this game. Is really what it boils down to. They still have no idea exactly how to market this game because
there was an update that came out of it a couple weeks after. We were like, everything for the game is on the disc. I'm like, but you're retouted DLC. So you're not updating it. You are updating it. It's like, I don't.
Justin, they don't, because they don't know. They're not saying. I don't know. Like, they don't have a proper marketing person going over this. I don't know exactly what the deal is. They're just. It sounds like they're really excited, and they're just like. What this is reminding me of is the early day of Kickstarter stuff, where people would just be like, "We're going on Kickstarter and." We're asking for $300,000 for this AAA MMO. But if we hit 500,000, we're going to include 17 new races. And if we hit $600,000, we're going to triple the zones. And if we hit $1 million, we'll hire staff. Wait, sorry, what now? Like, that's literally what this fucking reminds me of, is that kind of like blind excitement without logic. And that's the best way I describe it to people. Because again, like, here's the thing, all the individual components of what this game sounds like, I'm interested in. Like, if it's a single-player Marvel game that I can select missions, do with people, but it's not, but we can all play Thor with different skins or something like that and just have a batshit crazy time, or we play our different Avengers and stuff like that, kind of thing. Like, if it's single-player in the way that Star Wars The Old Republic is single-player, for instance, where everything is single player, but there's flashpoints. Mm-hmm. Essentially, the dungeon runs, which are the group stuff. I could be very interested in that.
Yeah, what I'm thinking it is, I think it's more like a Metal Gear Peace Walker or Metal Gear Solid 5 type approach to it, where there is a hub world, you pick a mission, there's some story missions, which is usually just single player, but there's also side missions. Well, I guess this wasn't in Metal Gear Solid 5, but it still had the same type of mission structure. But there are side missions that are co-op and stuff like that, too, which you gain resources, level up, all that crap.
Sure.
I don't know. It's weird. By the way, another thing I'm also hoping for this game, too, because it sounds like it's going to be loot drops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they do a loot drop system that actually changes your appearance, and they do it like a la like how Injustice handled its armor.
Yeah.
Like, it's different pieces that they all kind of work together, and you kind of make your own unique Marvel look without just picking, like, hey, this is just that one costume. I'd be super into that, too. I mean, that's all cosmetic, besides stats and stuff like that, but it's still super cool if you have some sort of customization you could do to it. And I don't know what I'm going on about this because I still don't know what the fuck the game is.
Well, but seriously, something like that, like, you said that, and like, I immediately thought to myself, like, and most people are going to go like, yeah, I'd love to choose like the helmet and all these different pieces for Iron Man. Like, I'm thinking Spider-Man, like, let me choose the mask, let me choose the eye pieces, let me choose the gloves, let me choose the shirt, let me choose the pants, let me choose the boots.
I think that's my turn off of Heroes, and I don't know why. Because it's Diablo with Marvel characters.
Yep.
Which is essentially what Ultimate Alliance is, kind of.
Pretty much.
But you got separate pieces of gear, but it didn't change anything, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know why that burnt me off the game so much. But also, I played it early on. I never jumped back in when I actually did stuff. My loss. But,
yeah.
Or was it? Because it's not existing anymore.
Questionable loss.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I understand. Same thing with Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I mean, there's gear pieces, but they don't change anything. Well, I guess the first one was just belt or something like that. Drop. It just changes your stats like that. It's like
it's just stat drop stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of Avengers. Maybe we'll know more post San Diego.
Favorite Marvel characters? The first one coming out. Hey, Ant-Man Hank Pym with not an Ant-Man suit and bazooka, and again, it's Hank Pym, who probably the worst fucking character in Marvel.
Top 3 easy.
As a person.
As a person, yes. So yeah, a lot of questionable choices going on there. Make of that what you will.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my rant about this game.
Why not? Let's have more rants here. Let's do more of that kind of stuff. But anything else on the what have you been playing, Michigos?
I finally beat the Messenger. That happened.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I've been harassing Justin to finish the Messenger since we were in San Francisco filming, getting ready to film the Kind of Funny stuff.
Ryan, I'm not going to dignify that with comments. I'm just going to say that's bait.
Yep. That is absolutely 100% bait. That's why I paused, because my eyes went wide because I didn't know how to respond to that. Since we were in San Francisco, prepping for Kind of Funny stuff, I had recently finished the Messenger, and I was giving you shit for not having finished it yet. So I've been bothering you since October.
Mm-hmm. It's just like I never because it's on the Switch. I usually play that in handheld when I can, and because I'm home, I'm probably gonna play something else.
Sure.
Unless it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which I'm gonna binge. God, why do I have a problem with this right now? Anyways, Messenger. It's always been a fantastic game. It's always been up my alley. I love it. I had more. The problem is, I think that game was. I mean, I don't think it was. It is way longer than I ever thought it would be.
It's a long game.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, a lot of things came out, so I just kept getting detached from it. So I finally sat myself down this weekend and just played it. Turned everything else off, just played the game. And yeah, I mean, I had a blast going through it. Once I got a hang to how to actually track down the next thing that's happening. Basically, I just had to pay the crystals to the dude, and he puts the thing on my map because I already got all the upgrades, so I didn't care about that anymore. But then I found the sink, and now there's more stuff I could buy. Do you not know about the sink?
There's
a vendor in the sink in the shopkeeper's office.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, basically he just sells collectibles.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Again, I have not played the game now in a bit, so I don't remember.
And by the way, I still love the writing in this game. It's so damn self-aware, because it even opens up, it's is there a sink here? It's yeah. What's it here for? It's people complain that there's nothing else to spend money on after you get all the upgrades. So here you go. That's a money sink.
You know what? I think I beat the game before that was added, because that doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah.
I still need to go play. I need to play Picnic Panic.
You do. I got to play. I played the opening of Picnic Panic because I was attending to stream it yesterday, which I might stream tomorrow.
I was supposed to stream it last week, and then last Thursday, my mother-in-law canceled on taking the kids to Children's Museum with Charnel. Yep. So last minute I had to go do that, which was phenomenal. I actually had a phenomenal time, to be clear. I'm not complaining, but I was supposed to stream it and then wasn't able to.
Yeah, the only parts I played of it so far is, I'll just say the surfing part. That's the part that has been shown in any trailers or any show floor stuff.
I played that a lot at PAX East.
Yeah, so that's as far as I got. Excited for it. It's funny. It's damn funny, actually.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I do want to hop further in that. But yeah, finally beat the Messenger. So anyways, Josh, anything else, man?
No, that's pretty much the end for me. We've kind of covered everything I've been sort of playing. I finally have decided that I am going to get both Ultimate Alliance 3 and I'm going to get Fire Emblem Hogwarts.
I do want Fire Emblem Hogwarts. I'm really on edge about it too. Or Fire...
Well, we were talking last week that I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, but pretty much what I'm going to do is if I can...
It's Hogwarts Persona Edition from what I'm hearing. So.
Yeah, I'm hearing that as well. So pretty much if I can get my time out of Ultimate Alliance 3 and interpret that how you will, this weekend. If I can get my time out of that, because that's not a stream game, that is a me game. So if I can get what I want out of that game, then I will get Fire Emblem. If I don't get out, then I'm not going to get Fire Emblem, because it doesn't really matter one way or the other, because I have two options right now to buy it. I can buy it where I've already have it pre-ordered physically, get it for like $50 with tax from Best Buy, or I still have 2 vouchers for the Nintendo Switch online that I bought. So I did the voucher system thing.
Okay. Don't know why you did, but all right.
Because for 2 full-price Nintendo games, for 2 $60 Nintendo games, it's cheaper.
It wasn't me. It's just like it's still $60 when I looked at the vouchers. Or was it a deal or something?
The voucher is 2 games for $100 for like $98, I think.
I missed that deal. I would have.
That's not the deal. That's the price.
Okay, I totally misread that, or I was tired.
Yeah, no, that's literally not a sale. That's the price. So,
and also, I was thinking, it's like there's not 2 Switch games I want right now. I'm like, Ultimate Alliance of Fire Emblem. Huh. I
bought it I'd already pre-ordered Ultimate Alliance and Fire Emblem at that point. I bought it specifically to get Link's Awakening remaster and something else, because I figured by June of next year there'd be another Switch game that I would want digitally, because that's things. It's the digital aspect. Because like Ultimate Alliance and Fire Emblem, I could actually see wanting both of those as physical copies. Particularly Fire Emblem, because I get the weirdest feeling Charnel might be into that game.
Yeah.
So that might be a good couples game. I'm looking right now for couples games post Odyssey. If anyone has some suggestions. But anyways, so Link's Awakening.
Snipper clips.
But God no. We tried that. We both hated it. But no, so now with the Luigi's Mansion 3 has a release date of Halloween, because it's spooky.
Yes. Oh god, perfect release date.
It's perfect. That'll probably be the second game, because Charlotte and I are both in Mario modes, so if we're still in that mode come October, that'll be a good game, because neither one of us have ever played a Luigi's Mansion. So I've literally never seen gameplay outside of E3 trailers of Luigi's Mansion games. She'd never heard of the series before I brought it up.
Dude, it's Mario Ghostbusters.
Well, also Luigi is my fucking my boy. Like, I have a Luigi onesie sitting right behind me here.
Who's going to be Gooigi?
Me, probably. But so, anyway, so I'm going to probably do Link's Awakening and Gooigi Simulator as my 2 things, unless I just decide I want Fire Emblem to not spend extra money, because I've already spent the money on the thing on Fire Emblem.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, speaking of Switch stuff, we'll get into some news here.
We have news?
We have news, and
that's news to me.
You, Nintendo, you know what? I was wondering about the Wednesday podcast, but it seems like when Nintendo either likes to leak or announce stuff on Wednesdays.
They are fond of it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, we kind of knew about the base Switch model, or the OG Switch model, getting a little parts revamp. There was I forget what they call it, but basically it's an adjustment for a patent, so they don't have to file a new patent for it. Just as like, hey, this is what's changing in it. They changed I believe with the processor, some of the memory, and which they also have to make a new chipset. But in doing this, and we're not sure exactly, like, there's nothing written down, but the battery life is longer, but there's nothing written down as to what causes that, and it could be a more efficient CPU or anything like that too. Also, to come in the parts thing is also kind of interesting point, because Nintendo is also switching where they do production at, because they're I guess they're figuring tariff hikes in China.
Okay.
So I think they're moving towards like a production in Vietnam, which probably means they're also moving different parts, because it's just probably easier to get something else there, which might have been the whole reason why this is happening. But in doing this, the Nintendo Switch battery life has or will be increased.
Okay.
Sorry, I had the details, but I put it on the wrong tab, so I'm kind of stalling right now as I pull this tab up. And here we go. Okay, so the standard predicted battery life is 2.5 or 2.5 hours to 6.5 hours, depending on how intensive a game you're playing. The new Switch battery life, or at least to read slightly altered Switch will be 4.5 to 9 hours, which is, I think, significant.
Okay.
Funny thing, the Switch Lite was just announced. The lighter only handheld Switch is 3 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I don't know, that baffles me.
That's the thing that baffles me. The lighter one with theoretically less stuff in it doesn't have as long battery life. Also, you announce this and then you announce another one that, a Switch, not 2, but Switch like 2, 2.0, like next, like, or 1.3, let's call it, kind of thing. Like an update to it, kind of first version, and it has a better battery life. It's just fascinating. You would do that right afterwards. As a person who's literally never, ever, ever run into a battery issue in portable mode with my Switch, even on planes, I've never run into an issue with that system.
No,
we live I don't care.
Life right now too. Because most people with mobile devices traveling are now usually have like a battery pack.
Exactly.
And that's what I have. And most places I go will have a plug that I can hook up the Switch,
and
everything's just with it easily. But yeah, same thing here. Like, battery life's never been an issue for me, too. But the reasons, like, that's more than the Switch Lite's baffling. But, I mean, there could be reasons for this. Because imagine Switch Lite, I mean, it's going to have a smaller form factor.
Sure.
I mean, generally, I believe I was listening to Kind of Funny's Game Daily. Gary Wood made a good point. It's like, if you look at the guts of a phone, most of the real estate in there is the battery itself. So, cutting down the size, maybe you had to do a different battery. Maybe the battery's not as great. I don't know, there might be a heating issue as well with the smaller form factors.
Yeah, they might be trying to mitigate something. They might be trying to. There's numerous reasons. Like, the technical reasons for why the Lite has less battery than this new version doesn't. It's just literally the timing of 1 week later to the day, pretty much, announcing this.
Nintendo is horrible about, because didn't they?
Their timing is always awful.
I forgot, wasn't like a 3DS came out and at the same time a new model of the DS or something weird like that happened?
They've done that before, yeah.
So,
well, I mean, when the Switch came out, they were announcing at the same time as all of the Switch launch stuff came out, they simultaneously announced a bunch of new 3DS games, and their thinking was probably like, hey, 3DS owners, we promise we're not forgetting you, but for most people it was like, why the fuck am I buying a Switch then? Like, that was what it actually, like, that was, they're not great with their messaging. My favorite thing, though, about this new Switch thing is seeing the whiny, entitled people online. My favorite comment I've seen so far, and I've seen this echoed about 5 or 6 times across different social media platforms, is, what the fuck, Nintendo? I was one of your early adopters. How dare you fuck me like this? They're pulling the Randy Pritchford comment card. And in all seriousness, they were like, why would you fuck me like this? It's like, you're an early adopter and you're getting fucked by them releasing a new version of a system, 2 years later?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the life cycle that... It's this like is long enough in a life cycle for Nintendo to be Nintendo in.
Yeah, well, also, were you fucked when Sony released the PlayStation Slim version of every PlayStation they've ever fucking made, roughly 2 to 2.5 years after the original? Like, that's literally all the Lite and then this battery extended version is. It's just their next models. And also, I mean, Microsoft with the Xbox 360, how many goddamn iterations of they never even really made it. They made the Pro version, but other than that, they never really made or the Elite version, they never really made like a Lite version or a secondary thing. They just kept refining the 360 to try to make it a fully functioning system. So there were new versions of the 360 coming out every like 6 months for a while there.
Yeah, and I mean, even right now, we're already mission hunting and stuff with PS4 and PS4 Pro. There's already been like a silent upgrade to the PS4 Pro where it doesn't sound like a damn jet engine every time I'm just looking at a menu. But like they changed the chip or something like that too, and also I think they changed the power cord as well.
Yep. But that's what iterative technology is.
It is. And when you're an early adopter, you're an early adopter. You should know what you're getting into with that. I mean, granted, most people don't. Nobody knows about the like. We never got into is like I'm still baffled that they won't allow the TV output. I'm still curious of why it doesn't do that. If it's a software issue or a hardware issue.
I just want a fucking explanation of why. I don't even give a shit if it's a good explanation. Just give a reason why. Because again, I get it. The point of it is, we talked about this last week. I get that it's a portable. It's meant to be a portable. You want it to be focused on a portable. But what is it? is it that it just can't do that the technology just doesn't allow it to continue to do this factor? Because again, I have no interest in the Lite particularly, except for maybe as a third Switch console, goddammit, in my house if Roran wants his own console, and it would just be linked with my library. But if it had a TV mode, I would consider trading my Switch in, particularly with this Joy-Con drift issue that's being reported. Get a whole new set, get rid of one set of Joy-Con, get rid of the system, get a Lite, have them attached, and then it's just like, cool, thumbs up, this is great.
And also that, like, Nintendo loves their attachments. Nintendo loves their extra crap you gotta buy.
Their peripherals.
Peripherals was the word I was looking for.
I figured.
Why would you close that door when you can... I mean, I understand not mixing the message when presented, but to cut it off completely and make it firm, it's like, no TV output whatsoever. It's weird.
Choices.
The other weird part, too, is, which is also mentioned about the Joy-Cons, is they still have no plans to redesign the Joy-Cons for the standard Switch. In other words, they make no plans to make a D-pad Joy-Con that you can buy for your regular Switch without pretty much. Which is... I don't know, man. Like, why would you do that too? Like, there's so... I only have one set of Joy-Cons. I don't get too much into the vanity stuff, plus I honestly haven't seen anything I kind of want to... other colors I want to buy. But I would get a new set of Joy-Cons just for a standard D-pad on my left side. So
I'm not even a D-pad carrying person, and even I would fucking consider it.
Yeah.
Granted, it's also because I'm considering buying stupid more Joy-Con because...
Ugh. Or, I mean, you could be like Per Schneider on every single Joy-Con that comes out.
Pretty sure Joy-Con, by the way, Pirate King, is in fact an adult convention somewhere. I'm not even kidding. Like, I think that is actually the name of one. I could sworn I remember something from when the Switch stuff was first announced.
Can you imagine like a family going there? It's like, must be a Nintendo event.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Well, I think it's, if I remember right, I could have sworn it was a European place, so they should know better. They're smarter.
Yeah, they are smarter across the, pond.
Smarter than dumb could still be dumb. Anyways, what else we got on this here, Doc, as we're getting closer to the end? Actually, on the Switch, something popped up as we were going live, so I'm just going to throw it out there. Mention at Lore Moore posted posted 7 hours ago, waiting for our Southwest Air flight to SDCC. Our agent is wearing a Mario Maker hat and said there was a surprise in store. Followed by a post a short while later, everyone on this flight just got a Nintendo Switch. And yeah, a flight to SDCC on Southwest, they gave every passenger a Nintendo Switch with Mario Maker.
That's insane. Like, that is a weird marketing flex.
That is the weirdest marketing flex I've seen in a fucking while. And it was a real thing because, like, the picture, it looks like they have these like really cheap cardboard ones. I dropped it in the chat for anyone who wants to just see it directly, but it looks like it's some really shitty cardboard or something like that, because I think that is what it is. But like, yeah, I think they after the flight just turned in their cards and were handed a Nintendo Switch.
Like, awesome.
I have 2 Nintendo Switches, and I'm legit jealous right now. Like, we have 2 fucking Switches in our house, and I'm honestly a little angry. Like, I'm happy. That's cool. I think I like this because it's wholesome news. Like, that's why I like it. It's very beautiful.
It's very confusing.
Very.
But it's awesome. Like, good on them. Good on. I don't know where this Nintendo Southwest partnership came from. But okay.
It's a weird one. I literally don't. It's 100% a San Diego Comic-Con specific thing. You know what I didn't look at? I didn't look what route it was. I'm curious where they were flying from.
I think it was flights towards there, wasn't it?
Well, it's definitely it's 100% flights to San Diego this week. I haven't read enough news to see if it's been more than one flight so far, and I haven't seen what flights, if it's just from random locations or if it's from major hub cities. Like, I mean, Southwest is literally Phoenix Sky Harbor is the hub city. So I said to Charnel, I sent her a text and it's like, hey, Southwest is giving away Switches on flights to San Diego. I'm going to fly to San Diego tomorrow. I'll be back later the day to see what happens, because like I have enough points to get a flight for free.
I would do it too. I would do it.
If I was visiting San Diego, I would do it.
Yeah, Southwest is oddly more expensive for me to fly out than any other airline from here. But very rarely, it's actually a better price. But granted, I'm in Charleston's a weird airport. We don't. I mean, I wouldn't call it a weird airport. We have Boeing right beside us, which is larger, like probably 5 times larger than our airports.
Jeez. Yeah, we actually fun note. We were going to do a trip to San Diego before. Just I don't have a job, so we didn't really have the money to save up to potentially do Galaxy's Edge next year. So we were going to do San Diego, and I was just thinking about it. I'm like, actually, I think the week we were going to go to San Diego was this week. We were going to go Monday to Friday, and I'm like, wow, did we really not research when San Diego Comic-Con was to like not go during that? But hey, we potentially would have flown during this thing. So, anyways, Michigas being what it's got.
Yep.
So, last topic. If we want to.
I mean, we could brush over this. I honestly put it here if we needed to kill more time because we can rant about our time with GameStop.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, no big surprise. GameStop is not thrown in a towel yet because I imagine because we all know GameStop is doing bad right now.
I mean, they're not doing great. Hence, all of my Think Geek merchandise strewn about on the floor.
I imagine their frame of mind right now is to limp their way to the next console cycle. Because I know like console releases are always like the biggest time for GameStop.
Sure.
Anyways, they're gonna lean fully in to redesigning the stores, which that part I don't get. Two, leaning into the retro thing, which is something they've been testing in some areas.
Yep.
But now I think they're probably going to go into it. It's going to get passed on to the other stores. Because right now, I mean, you go into a GameStop. God, what I heard today looked like a Funko Pop truck blew up in there. Which, like, I mean, you can't tell, am I a Hot Topic or GameStop? I don't know.
No, I don't know what a GameStop is anymore. I hadn't been in one in a very long time, and I went into the one at Chandler Mall out here with Roran, and his response was like, "Oh, Dad, they sell your figure things." He couldn't remember. He didn't know the name. Like he's like they sell your weird figure guys. I think is what he called them. Something along those lines. Mm-hmm. And that's what my 4-year-old. That's the first thing he understood is that is a Funko Pop store, not a GameStop, not a game shop. As DJ B Metal says in our chat, GameStop equals the new Toys R Us, and kind of. I mean, that's what they are. So my understanding of this new pivot is they are pivoting towards a retro mom and poppy kind of feel, like stores devoted to that, but then also stores devoted to pushing competitive gaming, esportsy stuff. Mm-hmm. The release I read on it literally didn't make it clear if this was going to be an esports competition store and there was going to be a retro store, or if this was one combined initiative, or if they were turning all GameStops. That's really not. I haven't really been able to gather exactly what they're going for.
Ryan puts in our chat, they should pivot towards hardcore board games and D&D. Ryan, they want to make a profit.
Hey, that kind of stuff makes a lot of fucking money, and if there is a mainstream, but the thing is, you got to think about it. Tabletop gaming.
Josh, let me dunk on the nerds.
I know, but like tabletop gaming, like legitimately think about this. Can you name a mainstream tabletop store brand across the country? No, because all I can come up with is like Hobby Lobby.
I also can't come up with one
that's not a good
I can walk into and just take a deep breath through the nose.
All right. Don't dunk on the other nerds. Yeah, Pirate King saying Target with a laugh face, but the truth is Target has like, some of the best tabletop stuff available. Like that's where I if I'm not going to buy on Amazon, I shop at Target for tabletop.
Good point there.
Yeah, and so. I'm just saying, like, Ryan saying Hobby Lobby is arts and crafts for Jesus. Like, yes, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm saying Hobby Lobby is what I can think of. Yeah. But it's not a good example. But, so, it was going back, I was
hoping for this remodeling. Like, I wonder GameStop's there for profit. They won't push sales yet. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to try to actually make it more of, this is a cool spot to hang out. Like going retro, are you going to make it kind of like how, one of the branches they bought up, Funkoland, like back when it was Funkoland. Like, you walk into a Funkoland, there is a station set up for Segas and station set up for Super Nintendo. Like, basically, it has all the retro consoles open where you could try out games and just chill. If they do an approach like that, that'd be pretty awesome.
Well, no, just give me an idea. Like, I
want a place to go hang out, you know?
Parking is saying GameStop better do something or there'll be the next Toys R Us. They already have the next Toys R Us. They just don't know it yet. The GameStop has been going out of business for so long. Yeah. But I feel like this will at least stave off the inevitable, this whole retro game thing. What I think they would be smart, as I was thinking about this, you know how Taco Bell, and yes, I'm going somewhere with this. Taco Bell easily, even if you like Taco Bell, most people can agree, it's pretty much one of the lowest of the low quality fast food places, right? It's pretty much on the bottom. It is cheap, greasy, easy food. So, but Taco Bell also has their like higher end cantinas.
They do,
and stuff like that.
I think into remodeling a lot of them to be that now.
Mm-hmm. But like they're kind of trying to make Taco Bell almost like fit that hipster craft vibe, right? That's kind of what their goal is. It's still the same crap, but it looks better, and they're boosting the quality a little bit enough, kind of thing. So I'm thinking, what if GameStop did this with their retro stores or whatever, and like had craft gaming stores under the GameStop brand? So it's like you go in there and it's this nice and more elegant modern thing instead of like the shitty mall feeling. It's this nice elegant environment. And they also sold, like, I don't know, beer. Maybe not beer necessarily, but like go the route to fucking Barnes & Noble, which only purposes the Starbucks inside half the damn time, and just add a Starbucks inside of your GameStops.
There you go, man. They become the Barnes & Noble of gaming. I'm down.
But like there are options here. DJ Mel is saying, so make it like a gaming cafe, internet cafe of yesteryear. But I'm just saying, like, I think this retro idea is cool, but I think it's just going to stave off the inevitable. I don't think it's actually going to stop anything. GameStop needs to completely reformat their branding and reformat everything. Start completely from the ground up if they want to survive this, because
I mean, the bread and butter's running out. Like, people with new consoles, a lot of people are going digital. Yeah, it's killing them.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't remember the last time I pre-ordered a physical copy at GameStop. I think I recently bought something used. That's because it's a VR kit and you actually found something that was actually a better price. Mm-hmm. Not like just $5 cheaper. Like, it was significantly a better price. I'm like, okay, cool, pick it up. And to be clear, like, I have nothing. I can't say I have nothing against GameStop.
I have nothing against my time. I have nothing against GameStop except for the years I worked there and shopped there and existed in their space. Is that where we were going? Because that's for us.
Well, the thing I was going to go is, like, I have problems with certain people who I worked for. Because, like, I honestly believe your experience at GameStop is as good as the management. And usually GameStop has shit managers there. Very few and far between ones I know they're actually great managers, and the stores I know that have great managers make a great working environment. So GameStop is a very much shit rolls downhill place to work. Like, the higher ups yell what's below them, they yell what's below them, they yell what's below them, they yell what's below them. And what a good manager does, which is the one I started at,
they shit upward now.
They don't shit outward. They at least try to block the shit and don't let it roll down on you.
Yep.
Just try to let you do your job without worrying you too much. Other managers will just like, oh yeah, we gotta do this. It's like, and then pass it on to make it like that. This is your priority. This is your responsibility. If you can't do this, this is going to happen. And I don't know. They don't try to just let their employees be them. It's weird.
Like, to be clear, I shout at GameStop. We used to shout at a lot on the main console calibrating show, but like, I have a lot of fond memories of GameStop, and I'll actually be legitimately like, I don't like their business practices and a lot of their way they treat employees, but I'm still gonna be like sad when they go, because I grew up shopping at Babbage's, which became Electronic Boutique, which became EBX, which became EB Games, which became GameStop. I'd shopped there for so long. The GameStop over at Arizona Mills Mall in Tempe, there was a time when I literally, and I know this for a fact, had the most pre-orders of any person in the entire state of Arizona, and I had it at that store because they told me this because GameStop sent me a $50 gift card as a thank you for being an employee because for being a customer for doing this because I apparently actually bought the majority of the shit that I didn't just pre-order for the sake of it because they didn't really charge a deposit. And I actually bought most of the things. I then also
sucker customer that actually had money.
I had disposable income out the wazoo. I had a lot of money. I was the whale, like at the store. But I mean, they didn't.
Usually, if they do appeal to you, because like I can even say like my stores, we had some whales there. One thing I do tout and I'm kind of proud of in my time at retail is like I never sold something to somebody they honestly didn't want. I never I absolutely don't want this and did a whole 180 around on them.
Yeah.
And force them to buy something that I just know they're not into. I always based it off of what they played, what their interests are, and I always talk up stuff, and I was good at talking them into, getting something they're actually interested into, and I never had a complaint about that.
And that's good. That's a good skill to have. That's a good ability to have.
I don't know where I was going with that. I totally lost my train of thought.
I can't speak for it either. Whale.
Yeah, but usually, if you could, there are customers that I knew will buy everything I want. There's some I absolutely despise, and I honestly didn't give any special treatment unless when I say special treatment, I never toss them a deal or anything like that. But of course I can't. I mean, you can only do what you can do at the store. It's not a pawn shop. I can't. Just
it's also a super, super fucking corporate store. So literally, you can't.
No, if you do, you get in trouble. But I did find the best deal I could work out for them, or hold stuff for them, or stuff like that. Whatever I could do. You said you had the most stuff pre-order. I probably had the most stuff canceled on me when I was working there from a one Kyle Hilliard at Game Informer. Thank you, Kyle, for getting a job at Game Informer and having you and your wife cancel everything on me. So forgive me for that.
Jesus.
Just kidding. I love him.
He seems like a good guy.
He is a good guy. I probably got to... Did I talk up when I got to run into him at E3?
I mean, you talked about it. Yeah.
I don't remember where at, but it was nice. I got to catch up with him. He was worn out on the floor. I was like, hey, what you doing? And it's like, oh, man, it's whatever. Cool. Like that. Trying to, I'm just fucking tired. I'm working right now. And then stopped, looked up. I was like, holy shit. Why are you here? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to it. But yeah, we had a nice long conversation about how things are going. Because he knows I keep up with him, keep up with his wife. We were good friends at that time. He talked a lot before he got the job, and it was a really cool, just reuniting type thing.
I mean, that's the GameStop cinematic universe right there.
Or to the game industry cinematic universe, more like it.
Well, it's the game industry universe filtered through GameStop prequel.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I would just say my best memory of GameStop was when Overlord 2 came out back in the days. I don't know if anyone remembers the days when you pre-ordered stuff and you got physical goods. It wasn't just oh, look, there's a skin for your sword.
Not just physical good, good physical goods.
Overlord 2 had these really cool imp minion. I can remember the names. Brown, red, blue, and green little figures. Yep. And I got red with my pre-order, which is the one I did not want red. Right? I didn't like red. No, yeah, I got red. I didn't want red. I wanted green or blue because I like the style and I like those characters. And I went and I talked to a guy who was I'm 90% sure this was after I worked for GameStop. So my former manager. Thank you, Tim, for this, by the way, if you're ever listening out there. But I went and talked to him, and I'm like, hey, look, can I trade this red one for a green or a blue one? And he's like, you're one of the only people who actually pre-ordered this game. Take all 4 of them. And
that's how I got mine, too.
Yep, and that's pretty much, and he's just we have so many of these things, just take them. So I have, I would love to display them, but they're all in the storage locker, which the move to the storage locker, I think Green lost his arm. Finally, after all these years, but yeah. So
yeah, mine it was literally I was the only one to pre-order it, and I'm pretty sure no matter how many pre-orders you got, if you just got one, you still sent the full set. So yeah, just took the rest of the set. It's no one else wants it. But yeah.
So I hear knocking on the door, and I'm pretty sure it's actually just Roran trying to get into the office. But just in case, we are actually over an hour, so
gotcha. We can wrap it up. And I was going to say, like, I talk about this a lot too, and like why I love the game industry. And honestly, it's definitely not the best job I ever had in the world by a long shot. But being a game advisor at GameStop under the management I was under was my favorite job I ever had, because all I did is talk to people about games. We shared our experiences. I helped them find something like I prided myself on that too. When people come and say, "I like this game, this game, this game," you recommend anything? Yes, and I recommend.
Yes, I do, motherfucker.
Shit. And we talk about it, and they come back and tell me how much they enjoy it. And I'm like, oh god, I fucking love that.
That's some good shit, man.
That's why we need to get into PR. But
you would be good at it.
It's cool stuff. So yeah, we're going to wrap up the show because I keep like coming up with good jokes or trying to come up with stuff, but I literally and my brain stops.
DJ's asking, you probably worked there before the Circle of Life bullshit.
Yep. No,
you were there at the very beginning, right?
Who, me?
Were you there during the Circle of Life stuff?
I was there. Like they probably brought the Circle of Life stuff within my first year working there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, you were there during that.
Actually, that is a point where it's like the Star Wars Galaxy NG. God, it just destroyed it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So bad. Anyways, thank you for watching our show. Josh, do you have something you need to talk about real quick?
Yeah, so I figured since this is a live show and even the recorded, edited version will go out before this stuff. So... I'm going to be announcing this on social media probably tomorrow, but just for anyone interested, Constant Calibrating Podcast, our other show, our usually considered our main show, is going to come back next week. We are releasing episode 291 Friday, I think. It was supposed to go out yesterday. Ran into an editing snafu with it, so it's going to come out Friday, I think, at this point. That episode features myself, Derek Van Dyke of SDGC, Christine Martin, and Nav Gung Ho Media or Entertainment. I can't remember what it fully is, and Dan Nichols of Adult Swim Games. We're talking about micro-influencers and stuff. I think I mentioned this a little bit last week, but that episode's coming out Friday. But the actual Constant Calibrating Podcast is coming back live on, I don't know why I'm pointing angrily, but it's coming back live on mixer.com/concalpod next Tuesday. I believe that is the 23rd, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. You might be asking, what is episode 292? What's that going to be after you guys been gone for so long? So we kind of toyed around with the idea of a little bit. Should we do a full group show? Because it's going to be back to being a group thing. It's going to be a regular weekly thing. But Justin and I had this idea. So I am going to be interviewing Justin, and he'll probably quasi-interview me as well during it. We're going to do I'm going to interview him about where him in general, but then also just like the journey of the last 7 months back to Constant Calibrating coming back. We're going to go over a bunch of different stuff, and it's just going to be a super laid back thing of that. The reason we're going to start with this as the first one back is, one, because it's just easing back into things, and two, because I want to do these as a regular show. So every 6 to 10 episodes, give or take, I'll be doing interviews with Constant Calibrating team members.
Not only that, it's like we are technically rebooting, so it's a nice refresher course, but you're definitely going to get some extra tidbits in there.
Instead of just doing I don't want to have a guest on for the first episode because that feels awkward. To be discussing, hey, we're back, and it's like, oh wait, you're back. Wait, I agreed to come on your show. What the fuck's going on here? Kind of thing. There's a lot of issues of having a guest, and I didn't want it to be a full team show because that just I feel like it's going to turn into just a very loud circle jerk. So this was a nice chance to launch an idea that we want to do. So we'll talk more about that, but I'll be talking to different team members and maybe even bringing on old Constantly Calibrating members who, are no longer part of the team and talk about stuff just for because I still enjoyed that one-on-one stuff I did at the end of 2018, but I don't want to make that the main thing. So every 10 episodes, we'll give or take, we'll do something like that, just for a fun thing. Otherwise, that'll be next Tuesday, and then following up, starting with episode 293 on July 30th, that will be the full group, whomever is coming back for the show, with a guest, which I am in the process of booking. As I think I mentioned before, if you want more guests, specific guests in the show, DM myself or Justin, email, yada, yada, yada. And I'll reach out to pretty much anyone.
All right.
So that's that for my little piece of bookkeeping, because I have nowhere else to do bookkeeping or, housekeeping news. I mean,
gotcha. And with that, I have been your host, Justin. You can find me at Justin_Glorious on Twitter. You can find my streaming stuff at just JustinGlorious, no underscore. Be it Mixer or Twitch. We'll figure out which one I land on. You can find Josh at Bear Punch on Twitter, and also twitch.tv. No, twitch.com. Not twitch.com. Mixer.com/Bear Punch. I'm tired, dude. For anybody noticing, like, for the video viewers, I've been sniffing and, like, tasting my fingers because I still have, like, sauce on them. If you want to know what kind of sauce, you should have tuned in for the pre-show and watched live. There's an entire, endorsement for anybody listening.
That also might end up on YouTube under, what was I calling them? I don't remember. I made a video last week.
I mean, we're going to call it catch-all. We can call it the slip-outs.
Oh, maybe. I gave it a different name, but maybe that'll be the rebranded name. Oh god, it's awful.
Man, we can cash in on so much stuff. I mean, people are gonna be confused when they go there. It's not gonna be what they wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And DJ, this is not a stream.
Flip out.
Jesus Christ. I would say this is not the streaming platform. This is a memeing platform, apparently.
Yeah, it's
anyways,
true. But
take us home.
Razzle daddle wub. Till we catch you next time.
That's seriously going to become the actual fucking
thing. It is till I write something actual in there, not just a placeholder. Anyways, It's been our genuine pleasure.